Okay, guys, we finally, well, I guess I wouldn't say finally because it hasn't been that long since we found out officially, but we actually have a behind the scenes look of Wayne T. Carr as John Stewart, Green Lantern, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, the scene that he filmed with Zack Snyder in his driveway. First, Wayne T. Carr posted a behind the scenes picture on Instagram and Twitter, and then later on, of course, as we would expect, I think we were all probably waiting for it once we saw Wayne T. Carr's photo, Zack Snyder went and posted a picture on Vero as well. So this is the first one Wayne T. Carr posted. Of course, it's been confirmed now that that Zack did pick him to film a Green Lantern John Stewart scene for the epilogue, the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is the first picture he shared. He said, "Grateful, stretching between takes." And so there's a look at that picture there. So many people have been sharing, like posting pictures from like the animated series and stuff next to Wayne T. Carr and just saying like how perfect he looks, even though we see him in the CGI, pajama suit that they like to call it, and not actually in a physical suit. You still see it, you're still picturing it. We know he filmed a scene as John Stewart, Green Lantern. So, I'm glad that he got these photos. I hope that this means that he was able to actually see this footage, the scene that he filmed, because when he was on Lightcast, I think it was, he said that he hadn't seen it yet. He hadn't watched what they filmed, what they shot. So I'm hoping that these pictures mean that Zack showed it to him. If not now, then I hope he does get to see that soon. And then here's the picture that Zack posted on Vero Driveway Productions, because that's what Wayne T. Carr called it on Lightcast, since they did film it in Zack's driveway. He said, "It wasn't a dream, thanks, Zack." So here's another picture of him filming kind of from a distance. Zack probably took this one, I'm guessing. Man. And this is obviously, okay, he would have been part of the epilogue scene at the very end when in the Zack Snyder's Justice League, we ended up getting Martian Manhunter going and talking to Bruce at his lake house. But, it seems like it was Zack's he originally intended to have it be John Stewart Green Lantern, but he's, shared with us that the studio told him from the beginning, don't film anything, don't shoot anything, which obviously he did film a lot, and he's like, of course I did it anyway. And Wayne T. Carr knew that there was a possibility it might not make it into the movie. It was going to be up to the studio to see what they thought when Zack showed them the movie. And that's when Zack said, like, he was willing to quit because they weren't going to let him use it. But then he didn't want the fans to not have any movie just based on one stand that he was going to take. So he was able to use Martian Manhunter instead, which he was happy with. I think we were all happy to see more of Martian Manhunter at the end, talking to Bruce. But how awesome would it have been to have both of them? Or, Wayne T. Carr and Harry Lennix had both said that when one of them was leaving, the other one was arriving to Zack's house to film this scene. So as Harry Lennix was leaving, Wayne T. Carr was actually showing up to Zack's house. And Harry Lennix had said that what he thought was that it was supposed to be both of them showing up to Bruce and talking to him. So either way, it's just unfortunate and really sad that we didn't get to see this scene. We didn't get to see, well, we saw the scene, but, the version where John Stewart was included. And hopefully, now that we're getting pictures, I know it was only a matter of time after getting the confirmation that he was John Stewart for Zack. I figured it'd only be a matter of time before we saw pictures or images that either he and or Zack shared. But hopefully now it's only a matter of time before we actually get a clip. I won't be surprised if Zack decides to drop it in black and white on Vero, and just completely blow up the internet. Obviously, it seems like there's kind of like this war going on between Zack and Warner Brothers, which is not surprising. Warner Brothers has been doing some very shady stuff lately. People have been posting... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. before I get into that, let's see, here on the side, okay, release the Green Lantern scene is trending. That's the hashtag that is trending. So make sure if you're on Twitter, you tweet that hashtag. People have started using it after we kind of got a hard confirmation that he was going to be Jon Stewart in the movie. But I think now it's going to be even more, and it, just like with Release the Snyder Cut and Restore the Snyderverse, anytime we get any little bit of something, it just adds fuel to the fire. So share that hashtag. But going back to WB, they've been doing some pretty shady stuff lately. I made the video, if you can check it out on the channel if you haven't seen it, about them posting a 4K version of the last trailer that was released before Justice League was released in theaters. And it's up to I think it's around 70,000 dislikes now. And then the next day, the UK Warner Brothers YouTube channel posted the 10-minute intro to Zack Snyder's Justice League. And it's just this, for some reason, the US WB section, team, they just are so, it's not surprising. They're so trying desperately to avert attention and just positivity away from Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's not surprising. We knew they didn't want this to become a reality. We knew they didn't want us to get, the original version that Zack wanted. Obviously, they, never supported it from the beginning. They weren't the ones who decided to release it. HBO Max said yes. Warner Brothers did not fund it. Obviously, they know that it just continues to make them look bad because of what we got in theaters. They know that the more positivity that surrounds Zack Snyder's Justice League, the worse it is for them because of the bad decisions and mistakes that they made. Not to mention all of the things that have come to light regarding what happened on the set of the reshoots with Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns. It just continues to pile on. And so, of course, there's been hit pieces, and of course they're trying to do shady stuff. Now, if you search, people are posting screen recordings and screenshots of doing Google searches for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the theatrical version of Justice League comes up as the search on Rotten Tomatoes. It's the trailer is the wrong trailer that plays for the theatrical version, or for Zack Snyder's Justice League. So they're and they've also put it with the Rotten Tomatoes score for the theatrical version of Justice League. So clearly they are really trying to confuse, I think they know that the Snyder Cut fandom, the hardcore, that core fan base that's been around since the release of the Snyder Cut movement, they're not going to confuse us. We know the difference between the two. But as far as a general wide casual viewer audience, it seems like they really want to confuse them between what Zack Snyder's Justice League is and the theatrical version. And it's just, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. They just continue to make themselves look bad, and it's do they want to trigger fans so that it makes us look bad and we look toxic because we're reacting to the BS that they're doing and putting out there? It's just, I don't know. They really just don't care. And sadly, this is something that Zack Snyder said on Vero. In response to, "Thank you, sir, for everything." Let's see. "WB does not deserve you at all." And Zack said, "Nor want me." So, he hasn't sugarcoated this. He's been pretty honest about how the studio feels about continuing. Of course, he's going to always support and appreciate the support from the fans. They Restore the Snyderverse and everything, all the support that the fans are showing him, but he's been pretty honest about the fact that Warner Brothers does not have an interest in continuing with him or with his universe and what they consider to be canon. So it's kind of just he said recently also on Vero, someone said, "Say something, I'm losing hope," and he said, "Don't." So of course, we're always going to support Zack and what he does, be that as you know, on DC or, you know, Netflix with Army of the Dead and the other future projects that he has lined up or has in mind, of course we're going to be there to support him. But it's just, I don't know. It's, I guess nothing surprising at this point that WB is doing to try to continue to sabotage Zack Snyder's Justice League, even though we finally got it. The 4K hard copy that was on pre-order in the UK with the Funko Pops sold out within 20 minutes, which is what the official account for Warner Bros. UK said. So it's not that some people want to say, well, maybe they're, you know, they're not supporting it because it's not doing as well as people thought. And I was like, no, it's actually the opposite, because, you know, if it was a failure, they would be ready to just blast that all over the internet. And the reason they're trying so hard to avert attention away from it is because of how successful it is, because it's expanded beyond the Snyder Cut fandom, and that just makes them look bad. And, you know, I'm not going to be surprised if when Suicide Squad comes out, they're going to try to over-exaggerate. I'm not saying it's going to be a failure, but I'm sure they're still going to try to really, like, push and over-exaggerate how well it's doing. And, you know, box office numbers, they can't mess with that. That's, you know, those have to be released. They don't really have control over that as far as I understand. But I'm sure they're going to try to over-exaggerate how many views it gets on HBO Max, and I'm sure they'll be ready to pump out those numbers immediately, unlike with Zack Snyder's Justice League. So they just really want the fans to look bad, the Snyder Cut fans, and they think that the people who are not fans of Zack Snyder and just the general audience is going to be enough, like, overwhelming support for their movies, which, because they think that they're trying to go the Marvel route, so it's going to work for them, and it's probably not going to. So, I don't know. It just seems like there's a war going on right now, and Zack Snyder has never been out, like, disrespectful to them, even after all this stuff that has gone on between the two of them. He just shares things and lets his fans, you know, take care of that. So I'll stop rambling now. But again, if you're on Twitter, make sure to use, you know, push that hashtag so it can keep trending, release the Green Lantern scene, and check out the channel for my interview with Sam Benjamin and my reaction to the finale episode of Invincible. And don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.